Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for joining. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please let's sing Manglacharan together. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vande Ham Shri Guru Shri Yutapad Kamalam Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Satam Sajivam Sadhavetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha
Shri Radha
Krishna
Krishna
Padan
Pada
Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He
He
Krishna
Krishna
Karuna Sindhu
Karunasindhu
Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kaltarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama Rama
Rama
Rama Hare
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 Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani
Gaurvani
Pracharine
Prachari
Nirvishesha
Nirvishesha
Shunyavadi
Vadi
Paschatya Deshataranam Mukam
Jai
Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yakripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Deenataranam Paramananda Madhavam Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Gurve Gauri Chandraya Radhikaya Tamtalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Hari Bol Hare Krishna. So we are reading chapter 16 of Bhagavad Gita. This chapter is called The Divine and Demonic Natures, the Devi and Asuri Sampada. So I think most everybody was here last few times. Let's quickly recap those who have attended the sessions or heard the classes. Just let's quickly recap what we've read so far. We've read till verse 18. 1 से 18 तक हमने पढ़ लिया, उसके बाद we have to read till 24th. So the first 3 verses, Krishna was mentioning about the divine natures of the people, like the godly qualities, the transcendental qualities that make people divine, that make people dear to Krishna, the Vaishnava qualities, the qualities that are endearing to Krishna. Then he started talking about the demonic qualities of people. कि आसुरी गुण क्या होते हैं लोगों में जो कृष्णा को बिल्कुल प्रिय नहीं है, जो आसुरी या डिमोनिक स्वभाव है लोगों का, that takes them to lower species, lower planets, that keeps them entangled in the cycle of birth and death. What are those qualities? So Krishna talked about like pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, lust, greed, right? All the anarthas that we have, uncleanliness. Uncleanliness doesn't mean just external uncleanliness and external hygiene, but it also means internal, like uncleanliness of our hygiene, like bad thoughts, bad consciousness, thinking bad about people, even though you may not act on it, but you're thinking bad about people. You're full of fault finding, criticism against other people, like that. So many qualities Krishna mentions that are not dear to him, that are that take one to lower life, lower hellish planets and hellish species. So he says those qualities belong to the demonic nature. And in one of these verses, he also ensures Arjun that even though you are fighting in this war, you are also committing violence. Violence is not dear to me, but you are committing violence. Cruelty is not dear. But because you are doing this to establish dharma upon my orders, to kill the aggressors, the sinful, irreligious people, to cut off the irreligious practices from this world, that does not make you demoniac. Just because you're committing violence in this war, just because you're committing cruelty in this war, this does not make you cruel or demon. this does not make your act sinful. So he ensures Arjun that you are full of divine qualities. You are born with the divine qualities. So don't hesitate to fight in this war. This fighting will not make you demoniac. He explains that what is now hear from me of the demonic. So he explains what demonic people are and why they are like that. He also explains why their behavior is like that. And we may also wonder, right, why one commits sin when we know that we will be stuck in this material world. We may go to lower species. We may take birth as a rat or a worm or something abominable like that. Why would we want to commit sinful activities still, despite knowing this? We may take birth in lower species, in lower planets like hellish planets, where there is a lot of bad condition, bad situation for living entities. Why would we want to do that? So Krishna also explains that what is the thought process of demonic people. So he says demonic people do not know that this world is controlled by me. They do not know this world is a property of me. They think this world is anishwar. Anishwar hai, matlab godless hai. It is not created by God. They think it is just created by the lusty actions, the lusty desires of the people. That man and woman come together, they make children, then they come together, they make more. Like that, the world just keeps running because of the lusty desires of the people. So they take God out of the world completely. They don't think that they're being watched by any controller. They don't think that their activities are being overlooked by or sanctioned by any authority at all. So they do not recognize any other authority. They think they're completely independent. They have no police over them. They have no demigods watching them. They have no guru watching them. They have no Lord, Supreme Lord watching them. They have no material nature watching them. So they think everything is just, all these things are unreal. There is no foundation to that. There is no God in control. So when people don't think that there is an authority over them, there is no overseer, a sanctioner over somebody to overview their activities, then they lose control of what they are doing. They lose control of their body, mind, and words and commit sinful actions with them. So in this way, their conclusions are very demoniac and they engage in horrible activities that are unbeneficial for the world, right? Is this so far clear? Anybody wants to add anything more? So when Krishna says people engage in horrible, sinful activities that are unbeneficial to the world, can anybody list some such activities that you can think from past several years that people committed or people conducted some actions which were really not helpful for anybody, which were very sinful, and you know that those actions will take them to lower species and lower planets? Can anybody mention some examples so we can understand what kind of demonic nature you're talking about? Yes, Mataji.
I was reading the story yesterday about Indra and Alia. Was it Alia Mataji? That story of Indra and
Ahilya. Yes, Mataji.
Ahilya.
Yes.
Ahilya. In that, he changed his avatar and went as Gautama, and then he pretended that he was Aliya's husband. Although she recognized him, but she got carried away and she did what she was not supposed to do.
Okay, yes, Mataji, good example. So that was out of lusty desire, right? That Indra committed that sinful action. Okay, good example. One example I'll give, and let's see if that can start some train of thought. I think a couple days back was yesterday was 26th November. One very great tragedy happened on 26th November a few years back. Anybody remembers? The blasts.
At Taj in Bombay.
Yes, Mumbai blasts, right? Can there be any benefit of that kind of demonic activity? those people, those terrorists that blew up and killed so many people, they used their intelligence in such demonic way. They were given intelligence by the Lord, right? They're given intelligence by the Allah. But what did they do with that intelligence? They used it to make get together RDX, right? How to get it on the trains, how to get it to the hotel, how to get it past the security, how to make bombs from it, how to get illegal entry into the country, how to get past everything, all the security and everything, and then kill so many people, right? So what will happen? Like, you think that you will get Jannat with that? No sadhu shastra, no guru sadhu shastra says that, right? No guru sadhu shastra, people that are not following scriptural injunctions will do that kind of demonic activities. So what is reserved for such people is to just stay entangled in the cycle of birth and death. So we have a choice. We always have a choice to use our intelligence and engage it in sinful demonic activities, or we control our senses, mind, and intelligence and use it in the service of the Lord. So that was one I was thinking of yesterday when I was reading this chapter, that today this tragedy happened many years back. And that Mumbai blast that was just carried by some sinful people like that, some demonic tendencies, out of demonic tendencies. Anybody else can think of such demonic acts?
Hare Krishna. I was thinking when we were talking about this, about all the gun violence that keeps happening, that is senseless, not, no reason. Just suddenly somebody is having that kind of nature that they want to hurt others, and they go ahead and do like mass shootings in malls, and recently in Walmart was there, other places at schools. There was that there was Sandy Hook in the past, and there was recently another in school shooting recently in Texas. So all these things are don't make any sense, but then again, they're just using their intelligence or whatever the Krishna has given them. Their hands have been given to them. They can use it to load a gun and fire, or they can use it in the service of Krishna.
Right. Yes, gun violence. So Hare Krishna, Hima Mataji, we were just Hare Krishna, Nilveni Mataji. We were reading chapter 16, the divine and demonic natures, and we were just, because the last few shlokas, when you read, Krishna is going to be very heavy. He's going to tell us what will happen to these demonic people. So we may think, oh, Krishna is being merciless here. We say Lord is all merciful, but Krishna is saying things that are completely, they sound very merciless, cruel. So why is he saying? That's why I want to list some examples of some demonic acts that we may know from last several years, even during our time, some demonic acts that we can think of, and then that will put things into correct perception. So we were, Prinka Mataji has shared an example. Muhammad Ghori looting temples and killing thousands of innocent people. Yes, many Mughal emperors, Aurangzeb, Muhammad Ghori, like they destroyed temples and scriptures and all our great wealth of this great spiritual country, right? They went to Vrindavan. Aurangzeb was on a mission to destroy all the temples in Vrindavan. All the deities had to be hidden so he won't destroy those deities. Yes, Mataji, thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? I can think of one major in my lifetime.
Tower in New York, Twin Towers in New York.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking, 9/11, right? What was the sense to that action? Hare Krishna Murli Prabhu, please share.
Yeah, Mataj, I'm talking about the current war between Russia and Ukraine. They're killing innocent citizens like women, children, even they are attacking hospitals. Those are all like demonic actions.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes. The war is completely born out of demonic tendency. And even the wars in the ancient time, like Mahabharata, was fought according to the principles of dharma, that women and children and older people will not be harmed, and there were proper rules being followed. At least until the time Bhishma Pitama was in the war, the rules were followed to almost to the letter. But after that, some rules were broken, but not like today. Even the wars are very fought in a very demonic way. And the wars are not fought to establish dharma. They are just a tussle between who owns what land and what not. Anyway, so yes, I think we have different examples. In 9/11, yes, that was coming to my mind. Those people also, how they use their intelligence. They got enrolled in flying school in Florida, right? And they learned how to fly. And those people were, and the school was very happy. Oh, these foreigners are coming and learning flying from us, right? And in those times, the flying lessons, they were not very strict about who they give license to. So they were given license. And then how they smuggled the pepper spray and whatnot into the plane, and how they took control over the pilot and the air hostesses, and then just flew those planes into the World Trade Center, that great tragedy. 3,000 people were killed. What is that born out of? Just demonic tendencies, right? So, so all these acts of terrorism, all these unnecessary wars, all this gun violence, the slaughterhouses in today's world, right? Killing innocent animals, the factory farming, all this is just born out of completely for our sense gratification, uncontrolled mind, uncontrolled senses. So now that you've some perspective of what demonic acts we're talking about, and then of course we're talking about demonic tendencies that we have inside us on subtle level. We've talked about that in last few classes. We should not think that they're just talking about the big demons, the terrorists and all. We should also see what demonic tendencies we have inside us. We are all given to sense gratification and uncontrolled mind and anger and pride and false prestige and desiring appreciation and fame, right? Fault finding, criticizing, all these are demonic tendencies that we all have in some quantity or another. Some has more of one thing, some has more of another thing. And just to weed out those demonic tendencies from oneself, really sit and introspect that these things that I'm feeling, this uncontrolled mind, uncontrolled intelligence, uncontrolled senses that I have, and how I have bad thoughts about somebody, or how I have bad intentions in doing something, all these things are not dear to Krishna. All these things will not be conducive for my path back to God, and really try to weed these things out of us. So that is what Krishna talked about. He talked about also, we're just summarizing the chapter so far. So he also talked about how they think that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization. And because of that, they have immeasurable anxieties. Apramyam chinta, Krishna says, कि उनकी चिंताएं बहुत होती हैं. चिंताम अपरिमेयम, इतनी चिंताएं रहती हैं उनको हर चीज की, because they are so worried about losing what they have, right? Because they're so worried about losing their money, their status, their peace of mind, their health, their wealth, everything, their family. So their anxieties are immeasurable because they are thinking everything is meant for my enjoyment. So, and then this was the last few verses we read last time, that even when they do the religious activities, even when they do some, rituals, they do it in name only. They just do it to puff up their own arrogance, to show off, to get, to improve their material conditions in life, right? They don't do it to please the Lord. They're not doing it as a sacrifice to the Lord. Whenever they do any religious activities also, it is just a show off. It is just a way of improving their own situations. So their charities, their pious activities, their sacrifices, they're not done for other people's well-being. They're not done for community, for society. They're not done for pleasure of the Lord. They're just for their own sense gratification, so they can pat themselves on the back that, look, I did this. So they're not doing those things out of humility. They're not doing this out of servitude, ki I'm a servant of the Lord. Their mood is not right. Their intention is not of pleasing the Lord when they do even these sacrifices and charity, Krishna says here. So everything is done in mode of ignorance, in mode of darkness. They don't do it to express gratitude, to show their contribution to the society, to say thanks to the people or to the family or to the Lord. No, that is not the intention when they do even pious acts. They just want to lord it over the nature and other people. So this is, and then they're very proud of everything they have. They of their strength, wealth, their relationships. They're very proud of their status, and they keep increasing their pride with the activities that they do. They keep patting themselves on the back and keep patting up their ego. They become more and more proud, become more and more full of false prestige. And in this way, they keep increasing their enjoyer mentality. So the main difference between a demoniac and a divine person is that a demonic person has an enjoy tendency. Everything is meant for my enjoyment. Everything should be serving me. I am the Lord. I am the center of everything. Whereas the divine person is thinking, I am a servant of everybody. Everybody is in center and I am just meant to serve them. So they have a very servitude mentality, right? But demonic people keep increasing their enjoyer mentality, that I'm the enjoyer. Their desires keep increasing. Their desire to enjoy with everything keeps increasing. And we know when there are unlimited desires, what happens? If you fulfill those desires, you get what? What happens if you fulfill the desires? Is that person satisfied when their desires are fulfilled? Like अगर किसी व्यक्ति की बहुत सारी इच्छाएं
Greed.
हैं,
Get entangled in those desires and have more and more desires, and it's a vicious cycle. It just goes on and on.
Yes, माता जी, उनकी डिजायर बढ़ती जाती हैं. They keep ऐसा नहीं कि डिजायर पूरी हो गई तो they become satisfied. They develop greed, right? Desires keep increasing, so they want to exploit others. They do engage in sinful activities. Krishna says they even use their money, their profession, in illicit ways to fulfill those desires. क्योंकि desires ऐसे हैं जैसे किसी बाल्टी में छेद हो, उसमें पानी डालते जाओ, it'll keep trickling down. So their desires are never met completely. They're never completely satisfied. The घड़ा कभी भरेगा ही नहीं क्योंकि उसमें छेद है. तो ऐसे demonic लोगों के consciousness में भी छेद रहता है कि their desires are never completely satisfied. So they start exploiting others. Their greed develops. And what happens when their desires are not satisfied? Not completed, not fulfilled. अगर fulfill हो गई तो greed होगी.
Being sad, being anxious.
Yeah, and angry, गुस्सा आएगा,
Yeah.
vengeful. They become vengeful. ऐसा कैसे हो गया? मुझे ये चाहिए था. How did this come in my way of sense gratification? I wanted to achieve this. How could I not do this? तो anger आएगी. So in this way, the anger and greed develops. So अगर fulfill हो गई, तो greed आएगी और चाहिए. और अगर fulfill नहीं हुई, तो गुस्सा आएगा, sadness आएगी, illusion में चले जाएंगे, bewilder हो जाएंगे. So in this way, Krishna says they're completely bewildered. Imagine the situation of such a person. The demon even becomes envious of the Lord. तो वो लॉर्ड से भी भगवान तो एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता. क्यों? क्योंकि हमारी इच्छाएं पूरी नहीं हुई. अगर हमारी इच्छाएं पूरी नहीं हुई तो ये कैसा भगवान हुआ? भगवान तो जैसे हमारी इच्छाएं पूरी करने के लिए बैठे हैं. तो हमारी, if our desires are not satisfied, I wanted to have the best health. Now something happened to my health, so God does not exist, right? So they don't see things as they are. They don't understand that stuck in this material world, we are bound to get affected in our body. We are bound to get affected by the disease, by the death, by the birth, by the old age, right? These are the miseries that will affect us. They don't understand because they're not following the scriptures. Scriptures clearly say that you will be hassled by these 4 things: birth, death, disease, old age, right? And अगर ये सब नहीं हो रहा, कोई हमारे loved one चले गया, so Bhagwan does not exist, Lord does not exist. But no, they're just following. If we are here, we're just following the laws of material nature, right? We're subjected to the laws of material nature. इसी तरीके से 3 miseries will come: आदि भौतिक, आदि दैविक, and आध्यात्मिक, right? Adhyatmic means when we are troubled by our own mind and body. Adi bhautik means when other living entities are bothering us. Adi devik means when there are natural disasters. So these miseries will also hassle us when we are stuck in this material world. That is why Krishna clearly says, get out of this world and come to me. As long as you are there, you will be hassled by these 3 miseries and these 4 problems of birth, death, disease, old age. So we don't need to get envious of the Lord and say Lord does not exist, or his words are not true, or this, or have no faith in scriptures, have no faith in Lord. So Krishna says the demons become envious and blaspheme the Lord, blaspheme the religion. So they criticize devotees, they offend the Lord, right? In this way, they do not. So ultimately, we come to the point where Krishna says they do not believe in scriptures. They do not believe in God's supremacy. They do not believe that God is everybody's well-wisher. He's the proprietor of everything. He's the creator of everything. He's everybody's friend. Whatever problems we are having today, Krishna knows the future. Those problems are actually also for our benefit only, right? Just like a parent will punish the child today, don't eat the chocolate, don't eat this chocolate. So the child may get very upset, he took my chocolate away, but it's only for his benefit because his teeth are, the parent knows that his teeth are going bad, so I should not give this chocolate to him. So similarly, Krishna may not let us fulfill some desires. You may see some obstacles in your path. You may see that I had some goal that did not get fulfilled, but actually it is all Lord's arrangement, right? So that is where we finished. And then some other thoughts I had from other verses. Krishna says they do not know, Prabhupada says actually, they do not know that present life is preparation for the next life. So in present life, we should be very careful of what we are doing, what we are thinking, what our actions are, how we are using our intelligence, how we are using our resources, body, everything that has been given to us. So use this present life as a preparation for next life. So we have a choice. Either we can stay entangled here in cycle of birth and death, or we can get out of here. So these demonic people, they'll put forward false philosophies, false arguments. They think that they are powerful in every action. They're independent of the Lord. So this is where we stop from until last time. Let's hear reflections from everybody. Any questions, reflections, realizations, please share. Did everyone get a chance to read the translations of the last 18 verses? If not, we'll revise them all next time. But this is the summary so far that Krishna has mentioned. Okay, let's see. Hema Mataji, Rekha Mataji, anybody has any questions? Anita Mataji, Murli Prabhu, or anything you want to share? Okay, so we'll keep going. Let's see if we can try to finish this. Let's read verse 19. Bhagavad Gita 16.19. Please recite. Please lead and follow. Tanaham dvishta kruran. Tanaham dvishta kruran. Samsareshu naradhaman.
Samsareshu naradhaman.
Kshipami ajasaram ashubhan.
Kshipami ajasram ashubhan.
Asurishva eva yonishu.
Asurishva eva yonishu.
We'll do three together, 16, 19, sorry, 19, 20, and 21. So let's read this. Who wants to read?
I can read, Mataji. That's okay.
Yes.
Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. Hare Krishna.
Very bold. So now Krishna will start telling us what will happen to these people. That's why I wanted to establish the demonic people that we're talking about, so you understand why Krishna is giving this punishment. Okay, let's read next. 16.20. Asurim yonim apanna.
Asurim yonim apanna.
Panna.
Mura janmani janmani.
Mudha
Janmani janmani.
Mam aprapa eva konteya. Mam
Mam
aprapa
aprapya
eva
kaunteya.
tato yanti adhamam gatim. Tato
Tato
yanti
yanti adhamam gatim.
Can someone read this?
I can read it. Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demonic life, O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let's read one more. 16.21. Trividham narkasedam.
Trividham narkasyedam
Dwaram nashnam atmana.
dwaram
Dwaram
nashnam
nashnam
atmana
atmana. Kama krodhas tatha lobhas.
Kama krodhas
Tatha lobhas. Tasmad etatrayam trajet. Tasmad
tasmat
etatrayam trajet.
etat.
This is a memory verse. There are two memory verses in this chapter. This is one of them, 21.
There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to degradation of the soul.
Let's read these three together also, actually. 19, 20, 21. Who would like to read these three?
Can I read?
Yes, Mataji.
Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demonic life, O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul.
Hari Bol. Thank you
Haribol.
for reading. Thank you everyone for reading. So let's take these three together, 19, 20, 21. So 19, Krishna is saying that these people, so think of the people we talked about. Think of the people we talked about that destroyed the World Trade Center. Think of the terrorists who did the Mumbai blast. Think of all the people that are killing innocent children, who are doing human trafficking, slaughterhouses, right? And then, of course, we are also full of demonic tendencies ourselves, right? On a daily basis, we are like small demons also. So Krishna is saying these people who are envious, who are mischievous, right? Mischievous meaning, imagine he's a father, right? He's the father of us. So for him, a child who does not obey him, who's disobedient child, is basically mischievous or naughty child, because Krishna, being the parent, has given all his rules, his instructions in the scriptures. Now they are not following the scriptures. They are not following the rules. So you are the father in the house. You set some rules for your kid, but he's not following them. Or you are the teacher, you are the guru, or you are the mother. You are in charge, and you have set certain rules for the people under you, but they are not following them, right? Because they think, oh, why should he set the rule? I get to set the rule, right? I should also have my desires fulfilled. I want to do this, not his way. I want to do it my way. So what is that? That is enviousness, right? Not wanting to get your position. I want to be the person in charge in this house. Why do you get to be the person in charge of this house? What is that? That is enviousness, right? To feel envy of somebody's position. And mischievous. So then, feeling envious, what do? You since you don't consider that person's authority, you break the rule. You are disobedient. You disobey the rule, right? You go against the rules and instructions, the authority that person set. So you're mischievous. So Krishna says such envious and mischievous people who are not following the rules that I have set, these people are lowest among men. He says Naradhama. We have read this word before in 7th chapter, that Naradhama are the lowest among men. We are trying to become the highest among men, because devotees, the people that are following the rules. So we are trying to become the front benchers. जैसे क्लास में होता है ना, सबसे आगे बैठते हैं, because those kids want to please the teacher. They want to know all the answers that the teacher has. We are trying to become the front benchers, right? We are trying to know all the answers that Krishna is going to ask, all the questions, right? And we want to please him, right? We want to, those kids, I remember we would take, when we get our lunch, we would offer to the teacher. So we want to be those kids. We want to be the front benchers. We don't want to be the back benchers. These are the back benchers who are not listening to the teacher, who are not following the rules, who don't know what teacher is talking about. They don't consider his authority, right? They think they can do whatever in the class. So those kids, Krishna is calling them Naradhama. They are the lowest among the men. So even in human species, even though it is one species, the species has evolved according to the consciousness. And regardless of whatever we were born with, whatever consciousness we were born in, whatever family we were born in, we can evolve our consciousness from lowest to the highest. So we can come from Naradhama level to the devotee platform, to the Vaishnav platform, to the Brahman platform if we desire. Krishna has given us this free will, right? Just like a teacher or a parent, you are not, you have allowed your kid to evolve himself. If he is disobedient today, it does not mean that he needs to stay that way. It's his free will, it's his choice. Similarly, we have also been given the free will, the choice that we can either be envious of the Lord and mischievous, or we can follow his rules set by him and become dear to him, right? Krishna keeps saying that person is dear to me, so become that person that's dear to him. But if you decide to stay as the Naradhama, Krishna says, I will cast you into the ocean of material existence. Shipami matlab फेंक दूंगा मैं. कहाँ पे? Ajasram ashubham. Ashubham matlab inauspicious ocean में, in this inauspicious situation of life में, in this inauspicious demonic condition of life में. I will throw them. Asurishva eva yonishu. So they will stay in Asuri yoni. Since they like to do demonic things, they will keep getting demonic birth. So demonic birth means they will, if they get human birth, then that birth will be very, very problematic. Like they may have a very bad family, very low conditions, not a good body, things like that. Or they will go into lower planets, demonic planets, hellish planets. We know there are 14 planetary systems, right? भूलोक के नीचे जो होते हैं, they're all hellish planets, right? And भूलोक के ऊपर जो होते हैं, they're all heavenly planets. So they will be cast into those lower heavenly planets. So in this way, Krishna is talking about what will happen to these people who decide to stay envious and mischievous. So then the point comes, Hare Krishna, Aditi, thank you for joining. Sorry, हम लोगों का भी भक्ति वृक्षा चल रहा है. Please stay on if you want.
Hare Krishna Mataji, no problem.
We are reading 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the divine and demonic natures. So Krishna is describing what happens to the demonic people, those who are envious of him, जिनको भगवान के लिए ईर्ष्या रहती है, उनका क्या होता है. So Krishna is describing in this verse, we are reading verse 19, कि इस तरीके के लोग जो द्वेष करते हैं, द्विष्टा मतलब envious होते हैं, क्रूर मतलब cruel होते हैं, mischievous या cruel होते हैं, क्रूर होते हैं, उनके साथ मैं क्या करता हूँ? I cast them into the ocean of material existence. So they stay entangled in the cycle of birth and death. So now I was saying the point here is we have been given free will, right? It is up to us to know the laws set by Krishna, the rules set by Krishna. Okay, somebody can say, I was born in this family and I never came in contact with scriptures, I never heard the gods, nobody ever told me what I was supposed to do, so I just kept doing this and now I'm being punished. So does that mean that person who did not know the rules and just kept doing whatever he wanted, does that mean that person should not be punished? What do you all think? Usko pata nahi tha ki scriptures mein kya likha hai. He never read the scriptures. He did not know that he should not kill animals and eat meat. He was born in a meat-eating family, so he only knew that. He knew only to eat meat. Usko bas wahi pata tha कि hunting कर सकते हैं, जानवरों को मार सकते हैं, खा सकते हैं, या लोगों के against violence कर सकते हैं, let's say स्त्रियों के against, या old लोगों को mistreat कर सकते हैं, kids को. उसने यही देखा था, तो वो वही करते रहा life में. तो क्या वो ये बोल सकता है, क्या ये बात सही है कि उसको रूल्स पता नहीं थे, तो अब उसको इसका कर्मा नहीं मिलना चाहिए, उसको इसका रिएक्शन नहीं मिलना चाहिए इन sinful acts का? What do you all think? Let's hear from somebody. Let's hear from, I'm gonna have to pick somebody, nobody's answering. What do you think, Minita?
I don't really know.
Okay, let's see. Who knows? Anita Mataji or Hemlata Mataji. Maybe Aditi would like to answer. अगर आपको पता नहीं हो कि क्या करना था आपको लाइफ में तो क्या होगा? Yes.
I think he should be spared for a moment and given a second chance so that he can improve himself or do anything better.
Okay.
So that he can learn the lesson, because he doesn't know, he is ignorant. This we call as ignorance.
Okay, okay. Let's see, Murli Prabhu was saying something. Yes, Prabhuji.
So Mataji, what I think is like, even though if you touch, when you touch the fire, right? Even though if you knowingly touch it or unknowingly touch it, it's gonna burn you. So likewise, the mistakes are like, whether you do it, whether knowing or unknowing, it might.
Yes, Prabhuji. Can we say 3 times Hari Bol for Prabhuji? Hari Bol. Hari Bol. That is a perfect analogy, Prabhuji. Yes. फायर तो जलाएगी. आप कोई बच्चा है, राइट? आप बच्चे हो, आपको पता नहीं था कि इस फायर में हाथ नहीं डालना है, आपने हाथ डाल दिया उसमें, तो फायर तो अब बच्चे को भी जलाएगी और जिसको पता था उसने हाथ डाला उसको भी जलाएगी. तो ऐसा नहीं, कोई ये नहीं बोल सकता कि मुझे तो पता नहीं था तो फायर को मुझे जलाना नहीं चाहिए. हाँ. So Prabhuji gave a perfect example. Yes, Nirbhay Prabhu wants to share.
Hare Krishna. Yes, I had kind of the same thought that it is as a human, it is our responsibility to understand the scriptures. So this is an opportunity, just like Mama said, that you should be given another opportunity. So this is actually our another opportunity. For millions of so many lifetimes, we have been doing the same thing. We have been not looking at Krishna. We have been giving this excuse that I didn't know or whatever. So now this is our chance. We have been given this opportunity. So just like now with this opportunity, we can make excuses and say that I didn't get time to do this, I didn't get a chance to do this. But at least from now we can start doing it, or look for the chances, or look for the ways in which we can approach Krishna. So the other example that comes in this regard is if you go to a country which is left-hand drive, or which has certain rules regarding driving, and you drive there and cause an accident, saying, oh, I didn't know the rule, I was doing my right-hand drive, or the opposite side, because in my country it's like this. So no, you will not be spared for causing you are causing chaos because you did not know the rules. So it is your responsibility to know the rules. So similarly, that punishment is due because we have got this human form of life, and it is our responsibility to follow the manual, to follow the rules for this life, for this human form of life. And so it's up to us to try to know these rules, follow them. And if we choose not to, or we choose to ignore them, or we choose not to learn about them and think that we will be spared, that is not going to happen. So the laws of karma are still going to be applicable, and it's up to us to learn about them and try to get free from this circle of birth and death. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Yes, thank you, Nirbhay Prabhu, Murli Prabhu, Mama, for sharing. Yes, perfect example. So just like Nirbhay Prabhu was sharing, this example is very common कि आपको अगर रूल नहीं भी पता था और आपने उल्टी साइड पे कार ड्राइव करनी शुरू कर दी तो एक्सीडेंट तो होगा, है ना. आप ये नहीं कह सकते मेरा एक्सीडेंट क्यों होगा, मुझे तो पता नहीं था कि मुझे इस साइड पे कार ड्राइव नहीं करनी है, मुझे तो राइट साइड में ही कार ड्राइव करनी आती थी, सिखाई गई थी. मैंने यहाँ पे, मुझे नहीं पता था यहाँ पे लेफ्ट साइड में कार ड्राइव करते हैं, सो मेरा एक्सीडेंट हो गया. दिस इज नॉट माय फॉल्ट. But how is this not? You should have known the rules of that country. So similarly, human life is meant for cultivating and practicing dharma. That is what makes us different from animals. Human life is not just meant for sleeping, eating, mating, and defending. That animals also do. So we've been given higher consciousness, higher intelligence, this rare birth. Human life is not easy to get. So it is our responsibility. That is why it is said you should not become a teacher, a parent, a spiritual master, a demigod if you cannot deliver your dependents. इसीलिए parent बनना, teacher बनना, ये सब बहुत ज्यादा मतलब responsibility की situation है. So we have to train. That is why we have to train our dependence in the knowledge of the scriptures and the laws of the God, because Lord is saying that if you do mischievous things, if you're envious, right? Let's say we were taking example of slaughterhouses, your meat eating, your hunting. That means you're envious of the other species. वो इतना सुंदर क्यों दिख रहा है, उसको मार दिया अपने sports के लिए. वो इतना सुंदर स्टैग है, उसको मार दिया हंटिंग करने के लिए, अपने उसका सर काट के अपनी दीवार पे लगाने के लिए. What is that? Enviousness. So you are envious against Lord, you are envious against other living entities, and you are being cruel. Krishna says the word cruel in this. You are being cruel or mischievous, violent, right? Kruran. Look. So that human life is not meant for you then. Then you need to get another kind of life, another kind of species, which is more congenial for your purposes, right? The human life जो है, that is meant for cultivating or practicing dharma, for religious, for establishing dharma, for doing the will of the Lord, for pleasing the Lord. जैसे कि अगर आपको कोई इसमें example आता है, अगर आपको कोई gift में sports car दे, right? Somebody gave you a nice sports car, huh? So you are supposed to drive it. You know, it is a very sleek car. You were supposed to drive it on a nice road, very fast and all this. But instead, but you did not need that. What did you do? You used that car to plow the field. आपने उसके साथ अपने bulls लगा लिए, and you started plowing the field. So you destroyed the car completely. The car was not meant for that purpose, right? So what will the person who gifted you that car think? Oh, he did not need this car. He did not need this sleek, fancy, colorful sports car, right? His purpose was to plow the field. So I should give him a tractor. So next time you will not get that sleek sports car. Next time you will get a tractor, right? जो आपका purpose solve करेगा वो चीज देंगे. So Krishna is also saying, if you're envious, mischievous, you're misusing your human form of life, then I will cast you into a lower species, because that is what is suited for your needs. That is where violence is done. That is where people, you know, animals like kill each other in the jungle, right? They are mating in the open, they are not wearing any clothes. So you do engage in those kind of things then, right? That is more suited to you. So in this way, you will go into the other species of life. So this was.
This regard, I have a question for the rest of the devotees, so that make sure that they understand. So what happens in the lower forms of life? We say that, you know, in the lower, you can get a lower form of life. So does we mentioned for humans, we need to know the rules and stuff. Now what about a tiger, or when they are killing, so what about them? So what kind of karma do they get, and what is their next destination?
Yes, very nice question. Did everyone understand the question? कि animals भी kill करते हैं एक दूसरे को. They're not following any dharma. They're not following any rules. तो उनको कैसे कर्मा लगता है? Who can answer? Yes, Aditi, please answer.
I think for animals there is no karma. Only human beings are the ones who are actually face the karma over here, because I think animals, God has made the animals as they are. So I feel there's no karma for animals.
Very bold. That's
Animals,
perfect.
animals don't have a brain to differentiate between the good and the bad. They don't have that type of nature. They don't have that type of a brain. This is the only difference between animal and a human being.
Very bold. Very nice points. Very nice points. So both Aditi and Mama, they mentioned two actually very nice points. So Aditi said कि उनकी कर्म योनि नहीं होती. The lower species do not get karma because this is not, even higher species like Mataji had quoted the example of Indra, right? Demigods को भी karma नहीं लगता, because demigods have the enjoy, उनकी भोग योनि है, कर्म योनि नहीं है. Only humans have the karma yoni. Karma yoni means whatever we do will get karma according to pious or impious acts. But demigods get that birth because of many charitable, pious acts, many sacrifices. So it is a bhog yoni. Similarly, animals, lower species, also is a bhog yoni. That is one point. Second point that Mama mentioned was about कि they do not have discriminatory intelligence. उसको बोलते हैं विवेक बुद्धि. विवेक बुद्धि मतलब ब्रेन तो होता है जो उनके बेसिक फंक्शनिंग में एक्ट करता है कि जानवर को कैसे पकड़ना है, ये एक्शंस दे डू, बट विवेक बुद्धि नहीं होती. सटल बॉडी में इंटेलिजेंस इज वन पोर्शन, राइट? मन बुद्धि अहंकार. Now that buddhi can be krur buddhi or vivek buddhi. Whatever examples we took so far of the terrorists and all, that is krur buddhi, that is not vivek buddhi. Vivek buddhi one develops by cultivating our intelligence, by following certain laws, by restricting ourselves. That is called vivek buddhi. I'll give you an example. अब हमारी day-to-day life में, I have a big tub of ice cream sitting in my fridge, right? Now I can develop my intelligence to understand that if I eat this full tub today, I will get hyperglycemia, I may get diabetes, I will gain weight, it will make me very sleepy, I will not be able to do certain activities today that I had to do, I'll have to exercise extra hard. So I can develop this intelligence and know the side effects of eating that whole tub of ice cream. Or somebody can decide, I don't care about this rules and this side effects and all this. My senses I just want to enjoy. Meri to jo tongue hai that just wants to enjoy, my mind wants to enjoy this ice cream, so I'm just going to keep eating. And then I have no control. My intelligence is not able to control me and I'm just eating all that, the whole tub, right? And then I will have to get the punishment that is definitely coming. With my stomach might get upset, I will gain weight, I will get sleepy, whatever, many things will happen, right? So why? Because I did not use my intelligence to control myself, right? I did not use my vivek buddhi, my discriminatory intelligence. So we can stay in human species and never develop that discriminatory intelligence. We choose not to develop that discriminatory intelligence and stay krur buddhi, that is harmful to us. Krur matlab harmful, cruelty towards ourselves, our own body, or to others, right? Krur buddhi, or develop vivek buddhi. Animals typically don't have that vivek buddhi. They are just looking for their own self, unka apna hi aggrandization, like self agenda hai. They're just looking to satisfy themselves, right? So like that, they are harm, but as a human, we decide not to harm ourselves because this body is a temple of the Lord. We decide not to harm anybody else because Paramatma lives in everybody. This intelligence comes by cultivating it with the help of proper knowledge, with the help of transcendental knowledge. So very nice question, Nirvi Prabhu. Yes, Anita Mataji, sharing something, please.
Mataji, I have a question. For the demigod, you said कि उनको कर्म नहीं लगते हैं, तो
Yes,
कहीं तो पढ़ा ना कि वो फिर वापस उनको जैसे उनके कर्मों का सब खत्म होता है तो like they may come to the material world.
Yes.
तो वो कैसे होता है?
Yes, Mataji. So let's say मैं भी human species में हूँ. I did a lot of charitable acts, lot of sacrifices, lot of pious acts. I collected a lot of pious karma, right? And in next life, I became Indra. Okay, Indra ban gaye. So now whatever pious karma, this is like a bank balance. Let's say you imagine it like bank balance. I collected $1,000. Now with that $1,000, I went to Vegas and I spent it. I used it all, right? Now, after spending it, I have to go back to whatever my next life was supposed to be. So they are using up their previous karma. They're not generating any new karma as a demigod. They're just, it's a bhog yoni. तो वो भोग रहे हैं जो उन्होंने पहले इकट्ठा किया था, पायस कर्मा इकट्ठा किया था as a devta, उसको भोग रहे हैं, but they are not creating any new karma. So they are in a progressive evolution phase. जैसे animals भी हैं, वो कुछ बनाते नहीं है कर्मा, पर rat से आगे वो क्या बनेंगे, that is just उनका progressive species of life में they keep evolving, right? And we are not supposed to stop anybody's progression through the evolution. Similarly, demigods also will get to whatever next destination, but not based on what they did in that life, based on their previous karma. They will enjoy whatever the good deeds they did, and पीछे का जो कुछ negative है, then according to that they will go to the next destination. But their yoni and all other yonis are bhog yoni. Only human species is the karma yoni. That is the only time when you get to reform yourself. This human species is the only time where you are meant to reform yourself, to follow the injunctions of the Lord and go back to the Lord. That is why human species, human life is, Prahlad Maharaj says, it is very, very rare. Very, very rare. So do sadhu sangha in this life. Does that answer your question, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Hari Bol. Thank you for sharing, everybody. Let's move to the next one. So we read 3 together. I'm going to try to complete these 3. 16.20. So this one, again, Krishna is elaborating what will happen. So they will attain repeated birth among the demonic life, and such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence, right? So this seems very harsh, doesn't it? That they will just stay stuck in the demonic species of life and they can never approach me. Now, let's discuss more about this. Let's ask some questions. So it almost seems like Lord is being very partial to them. He's being very hateful to them, very merciless. But we always say Lord is very merciful. We say Lord. So two questions I'm asking here. One, based on this verse, how can you say that Lord is all merciful? Allah का मतलब होता है all merciful. How can you say Lord is all merciful if this verse is saying कि मैं तो तुमको perpetual ocean of abominable existence में फेंक दूंगा and you will never be able to approach me. We thought that, you know, Lord is our supreme father, he will show mercy, but this is very severe punishment. So with this, how can you prove that Lord is still all merciful? इसी वर्स के बेसिस पे कैसे बता सकते हैं कि लॉर्ड इज स्टिल मर्सीफुल? Let's see who will answer. Acha, okay, so then answer. You think Lord has first of all, okay, and yes or no may answer. Everybody can answer. Lord has hatred for anyone or no?
No.
Who says yes? Lord has hatred for these people, demonic people. Lord is full of what do you think? Yes or no?
Mataji, he's always merciful because he always give chance to everyone to grow up, not go down. So when you go down, he is merciless. When you grow up, he is merciful. That's what I think, Mataji.
Okay. So you are saying that Lord is still merciful and he has no hatred for anyone, right? Everybody agrees with this? Lord has no hatred, no envy. You think Lord has envy for anyone? So we are using different words. Lord has hatred for anyone? Who says yes? Raise your hand. Okay. Lord has envy for anyone? Okay. Lord is all merciful? Yes or no? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So then let's try to understand this. Krishna is saying that you will never be able to approach me, all this. So now take an example of Krishna's Leelas, right? Krishna came and instructed Arjun, kill all these demons, right? And even in his Bal Leelas, right? In Braj Leelas, he killed all those demons he killed. He killed Putna and so many asurs that came to fight with him. So many points come here. Okay, I'll see if I can explain this. First of all, the Lord said in 4th chapter, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyam. That is one point, which means that however you approach me, in whatever bhav, I will respond in the same way. Okay. Now these demons came to fight with Krishna. So Krishna also fought with them. Okay. You know, you want to fight with me, this is how you want to engage with me, then this is how I will reciprocate, by fighting with you. And now since he's all supreme, he can defeat them, so he defeated them, right? Kamsa was full of envy for him, was always thinking of fighting with him, killing him. So Krishna also reciprocated. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva. That's how I will respond. So devotees engage with him by offering him nice things, so he also offers nice things back to them. Right? Devotees offer love to him, so he also offers love to them. But these people are reciprocating with envy, they're reciprocating with power, they're reciprocating with anger. So Krishna is also engaging like that with them. So he's fulfilling their wishes. Number one, he fulfills your wish because you wanted to enjoy in this world by killing people, you had tendency to be cruel, to be violent, to kill, to do all these sinful things. So he gave you a better way to do those things, right? You cannot kill nicely as a human. So become a tiger, because you can kill better as a tiger. You have better claws and teeth and everything, right? You like to fight, so you become, some animal that will like to fight, right? So, okay. So he's reciprocating like that. This was your wish. This was your choice, your desire that I want to engage in these actions. So he gave you better facilities to engage in those actions, right? That's number 1 point. Secondly, when Lord is killing these demons, he is not being merciless. He is actually killing them mercifully. This is again the example of a parent punishing their child, right? He's before they could go much farther in their sinful acts, he stops their actions. कि इतने sin, इतने offense कर लिए भगवान के against, devotees के against, इतना धर्म फैला लिया, इससे पहले और बढ़ जाओ, let me stop you right here. So he mercifully kills them, right? He stops their progression in this sinful offenses and all. जैसे शिशुपाल को उन्होंने दिया कि 100 बार तुम मुझे offend कर सकते हो, 100 बार offend करने दिया, उसके बाद he killed him, because after that, you just need some punishment now so that you can reform yourself, right? So his punishment is also not out of envy. It is not out of hatred for them. It is not out of cruelty for them. It is out of mercy only. Let me put an end to your sinful actions. You go get reformed and then come back, right? So he is basically mercifully killing the demons even within us. Think of at a subtle level. Let's say I have the demon of pride in me. I have the demonic tendency of pride in me. Krishna will kill that demon of pride. Krishna will take care of it. How will he kill that demon? He will make me humble. He will create certain situations in life that will make me humble. He will kill that demon completely within us, right? So devotees also, he reciprocates like that, right? Because he wants the good for us. So जो बड़े demons हैं, उनको भी is mercifully killing, not out of hatred, not out of envy, not out of partiality, but because that's how they want to be reciprocated. This is their choice, and also this is good for them. It is good for them to be killed by him. So he has no hatred for anyone. He's all merciful, and this killing them is also an act of mercy only. Similarly, in our life also, when we come to certain situations, जैसे कि किसी के पास पैसे थे बहुत सारे और वो suddenly he lost their property or something, right? So we can think of this ki Krishna is hating me, he's being merciless or something, or Krishna is just killing the demons within you. Krishna is just taking the pride away from you. Krishna is making you humble, right? So you will take more and more shelter of the Lord. So you will depend more and more on him, right? You see Krishna's arrangement in this. So this is the point I wanted to make from this verse, that he's not killing them out of being partial, out of being hateful to them. He has no, Queen Kunti says in one of her prayers that Krishna, you have no specific object of favor. You have no object of envy either. You're always merciful and you're always impartial, she says. He's Atmaram. She calls him Atmaramaya Shantaya. कि आप आत्माराम हो, आप self-satisfied हो, आपको कुछ भी, जो भी आप किसी के लिए करते हो, आप उसके भले के लिए ही करते हो, well-wisher हो आप उसके, and you're always shant, you're always gentle. So he can never be cruel, he can never be violent or hateful. He's always gentle. He's always a gentleman. Unlike us, we are trying to be gentlemen and gentle ladies, but he's always a gentleman. So whatever he's doing for, it is also for the benefit of other people. So this was the point I wanted to make. The other question now I have, so what is the hope for these people? How can these people, Krishna is saying कि इनका तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता, इनको तो मैं I will cast them into the most abominable type of existence. Now, this is a very, very important question. What is the hope for these people? So who can help them? There are demonic people in this world. We are also demonic. We have demonic tendencies inside us. Who helped us to come to scriptures, to come to the association of devotees, and who can help these people also? Yes, Nirbhay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So devotees can help, because it's by the association of devotees only that because of the causes and causeless mercy of the Lord. So the two things, and by causeless mercy of the Lord, the way he acts is that he gets us in association of devotees. So that's why those two things can help. Like, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and went through the Jharikhanda forest, he elevated so many souls, animals. There are so many other stories that we read when even as a animal, they get purified just by hearing the holy name of the Lord. We heard the story of as a mouse, how somebody did something and then they became a queen, like for Deepdan during Damodar month just happened. So just like this, and then we are supposed to chant loudly in the open by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission and his Sankirtan movement. We can chant loudly, and when these souls also listen to the holy name of the Lord, even if it may be pure or not from our standpoint, they will get the benefit, and then we can keep trying to purify our chanting too. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Nirbhay Prabhu. 3 times Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Amazing. Yes. So yes, there is no other hope except for the devotees. They can be saved by the mercy of devotees. तो भगवान के भक्त जो हैं वो भगवान से भी ज्यादा merciful होते हैं, right? Like प्रभुपाद ने इतना effort करके वो वेस्ट गए, अमेरिका गए लोगों को बचाने के लिए, जिनकी कोई होप नहीं थी. मांसाहार करते थे, गैम्बलिंग करते थे, स्मोकिंग करते थे, illicit relationships थे, outside of marriage relationships थे, कितनी चीजें करते थे. स्मोकिंग तो छोड़ो, LSD, marijuana और कितने तरह के नशीले पदार्थों का सेवन करते थे. लेकिन प्रभुपाद कितना एफर्ट करके वृंदावन छोड़ के गए कि नहीं, मुझे तो बचाना है लोगों को, मुझे कृष्णा का मैसेज सारी जगत में फैलाना है, right? This is not just India that needs to be Krishna conscious. The whole world needs to be Krishna conscious. So he gave the message to the English speaking world also, right? And so many people got transformed. Their lives changed just by coming in contact with Bhagavad Gita and by coming in contact with pure devotee of the Lord. तो यस, इसलिए हमको महाप्रभु ने इंस्ट्रक्शन दी है कि बाहर जब होते हैं नेचर में जोर से चैंट करना चाहिए, कीर्तन करना चाहिए, ताकि जो भी लोअर स्पीशीज में भी हैं, कोई एंट्स हैं, वर्म्स हैं, बर्ड्स हैं, एनिमल्स हैं, प्लांट्स हैं, सबको हरि नाम सुनाई दे. तो हरि नाम सुनने से जो उनका वो था, उनको मारने की बजाय उनको हरि नाम सुनाओ. उनको मार के उनकी लाइफ की प्रोग्रेशन खत्म करने की बजाय उनकी लाइफ चेंज हो जाएगी, वो किसी बेटर स्पीशीज में चले जाएंगे, हो सकता है उनको ह्यूमन स्पीशीज मिल जाए. ठीक है, प्रसाद खिलाओ, ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों को प्रसाद खिलाओ, राइट? तो प्रसाद खिलाने से, कीर्तन करने से, कीर्तन सड़क पे करो, नगर कीर्तन करो, ताकि सबको हरि नाम सुनाई दे. हर किसी को भगवत गीता का वितरण करो, राइट? हरि कथा बांटो. हरि कथा, गिविंग हरि कथा इज द बेस्ट चैरिटी वन कैन डू, राइट? ताकि नाम सुन सके, नाम श्रवण कर सके, हरि कथा सुन सके, प्रसाद खा सकें. डिवोटीज को देख लेने मात्र से, उनके वैष्णव तिलक को, उनकी कंठी माला को देख लेने मात्र से लोगों का के कर्म कट जाते हैं, राइट? So this is their hope. This is the hope of people that are not taking to scriptures, not taking to this path, not coming to the dharma. Okay? So Mahaprabhu did not say that anybody, nobody is qualified to receive the mercy actually in this. We should not think we are qualified to receive the mercy of the Lord. We do not deserve any mercy. But we need it. Right? We need the mercy. We may not deserve it, but we need the mercy. And Mahaprabhu gave this mercy to everybody that needed it, whether or not they were qualified to receive it or not. Whatever birth, koi bhi birth ho, koi bhi body ho, safed ho, kala ho, ऊंची जात, नीची जात, पढ़ा लिखा हो, अनपढ़ हो, कोई भी gender हो, बच्चा हो, बूढ़ा हो, everybody needs to be saved just by the mercy of this devotee. So everybody is just stuck in this mire, in this daldal, right? And daldal में से कौन निकाल सकता है जो दलदल के बाहर खड़ा है? Because we are sinking in the daldal. Daldal, like mud या mire, जो wet mud होती है, mire होता है, right? I don't know in English. क्या बोलते हैं? Bog. Huh? So in that you're just sinking, but somebody who's outside can give you a hand just by his mercy. उसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, वो चलता जा सकता है, अपना आपको देख के इग्नोर कर सकता है. But if by his mercy decides to lend you a hand and lift you up, right, then you can come out of that bog. And now it is also your free will. You can decide, मुझे तो अपना हाथ नहीं देना इसको, ये कौन होता है मुझे बचाने वाला? तो डिवोटीज को ऑफेंड करके जाओ अपने रास्ते जाओ, मैं अपना देख लूंगा, तो अपने एफर्ट से निकलूंगा, नहीं निकल पाएंगे. So सिर्फ डिवोटीज के एफर्ट से ही निकल पाएंगे, सिर्फ उनकी मर्सी से ही निकल पाएंगे. So this is what Krishna is saying, that this is what I do. But what is their hope? The hope is the devotees. Last one also we read. This is very quick. Please try to memorize this verse. This is a memory verse. There are 3 gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, greed, kam, krodh, lobh. Tasmad etat trayam trijit. Very clear instruction from Krishna. Every sane man, intelligent man should give these up, because they lead to degradation of the soul. ये नर्क का द्वार है, त्रिविधम, ये 3 नर्क के द्वार हैं. नरकस्यदम द्वारम नाशनम आत्मना, ये आत्मा का नाश कर देते हैं. आत्मा मतलब सेल्फ का नाश कर देते हैं. So if we are maintaining these demonic qualities within us, then we will get a demonic body or a lower species, जैसे कृष्ण ने बताया. And they are big obstacles in the path of spiritual realization also, because they don't let us be humble. They don't let us surrender to the Lord. If we have काम, क्रोध और लोभ, तो हम surrender नहीं कर सकते, और इसलिए they are big obstacles in the path. And they are killers of the self. So if somebody respects self, लोग बोलते हैं self respect करो, लोग बोलते हैं self love करो. तो अगर अपने आप से प्यार है, अपनी respect है, तो ये सब चीजों को छोड़ दो. Actually, it is a sign of a very elevated person, जो tolerant होता है, humble होता है, जो लोग उनको provoke भी करते हैं और उनसे वो provoke नहीं होता. It is a sign of a very elevated person. That means he respects himself. He's very. लोग सोचेंगे कि ये तो कोई डोरमैट की तरह है, कि लोग इसको बोलते हैं और इसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Actually, he is situated on a very elevated platform. He knows the true self. That is why he's able to tolerate the provocations. So काम, क्रोध, लोभ, ये सब चीजों को छोड़कर we have to tolerate the provocations and actually come to the platform of self-respect and self-love in the true sense, not in the material sense that people talk about these days. So that's where I will stop. Anybody has any questions, realizations, reflections, please share. Murli Prabhu, Priyanka Mataji, Hanita Mataji, anybody wants to share? Neelveni Mataji. Any questions? Aditi, Hema Mataji, Vinita, Nirbhay Prabhu.
Nothing, Mataji. It was nice hearing you.
Behold, thank you for joining us. We do class Sunday morning. आप लोगों का रात के 8:30 बजे का टाइम होता है. So the next time we'll try to finish this chapter. 3 more verses to go, and we'll go more into this Trividam Narkasedam. Please try to memorize. Then there is one more verse, 16.23. That is also a memory verse. If anybody feels inspired, please memorize these 2 verses. These verses, they are not words of any normal, ordinary person. They're called apurusha. Apurusha मतलब किसी पुरुष ने नहीं लिखी हैं ये. किसी पुरुष या स्त्री मतलब किसी ordinary entity ने नहीं लिखी हैं. This is apurusha. These are timeless. These are eternal. This is Ved Vakya. And this is Shabd Brahm. ये कृष्णा की अपनी वाणी है. तो इसको याद करना is very, very powerful to memorize these, to recite these, because हम लोग इतने elevated तो है नहीं कि हम अपनी कोई बहुत strong prayers बना के offer कर सकें. So we can just memorize Krishna's words itself and offer those to the Lord, and he will be pleased. So just by offering the same verses back to him, कि मैंने आपने ये बोला था, मैंने ये याद किया, देखो. So Krishna will be very pleased by just that also. So if you have nothing else to offer, you can offer, कोई बोलता है कि मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है या मैं charity नहीं कर सकता, ये सब देने की कोई जरूरत नहीं. You can offer just verses and Krishna will be pleased. He's very easy to please actually. So 21 and 23, please try to memorize. Okay, we'll stop here. Mancha kautarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Guruve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Samved Gaur Bhakturing ki jai. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.